the last man standing at the bar in a drinking sense?
Got to be Taker.
Is it because he drinks the most and carries on, or is he like,
Maybe he's
just
just,
takes it easy?
well, nah, I take that back. Yoko too. We're big guys, so we could take a lot. But Jack was always our drink. We were talking about that yesterday with Shane. Um, you always knew it was going to be a rough night, like over in Germany or England. When we'd get done, we'd go back to the hotel, usually go down to the hotel bar. And so Yoko, when we'd do them, he would go up to the bar and just buy the fifth of Jack, which I can still remember. Just a fifth of Jack back then was $75 over there, and that was in England.
Mm.
And he would take the top off and throw it in the trash. So that means that top's not going back on. That bottle's got to be a dead soldier at the end of the night. So you always knew it was going to be an adventurous night.
Did you ever get involved with the gargling thing with Jack?
Yeah, we had to do that sometimes. That's a
what,
little rough.
what was the occasion that you'd have to do that? Just to get the night going, or?
Yeah, just I think we did it when we were all together the first time in 20 years when we did the thing with Taker a few years ago. We all got together and wow, we made up for 20 years. Of course, we'd all seen each other over the years, but not everybody as a whole. But we made up for 20 years that night. Undertaker and Godfather had to put me and Phineas to bed, and Sabio's got it all on tape. So Rikishi said, "Man, that's like TMZ shit right there." It was we're stumbling and falling around, and it was adventurous night.
I interviewed Savio Vega, I think, like a couple of days afterwards, and I said, "Oh, how was it?" And he just went, "Oh, jeez," like he was still
Oh
hungover like
yeah,
a week later.
yeah. Hey, I come to the for the show that day. We that's when we wore our overalls to the ring, and everybody was out there for Taker. Uh,
Was it like a COVID show or something? Wasn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I
yeah.
remember.
But I got to the building that morning, uh, threw up twice at the building, and then started sipping on Sprite and got my second wind and felt good for the show that night.
You clapping hands, stomping the mat,
Yeah,
get
yeah.
yourself G'd up for it.
Hell, we walked to the ring. Everybody was going up the steps. I slid through the ropes with my old ass.
Oh, really?
I was the only one that done it. I just wanted to do it one more time.
Quite a few people, I'm sure you'll have worked out what I know about some BSK stories. So, Jimmy the Catholic has written in and says, "How did you become friends with The Undertaker?"
Well, we did that table for three that's on Peacock and WWE Network. It was me and Godfather and Rikishi and uh, Taker. Sabio didn't make it. He was caught up in another signing, and Phineas got in on the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, I saw
But we sat there
that.
for like 2 hours. So when we first got there, and they told me, "Hey, they want you to do this thing with Taker at the table for three," and I'd never seen them or even knew what they were talking about. But we got there, and there was a round table with a white tablecloth, and everything was dark around it. It was like a wrestling ring. There was one light down. So me and Godfather, Rikishi, and Taker sat down. Tex hasn't got there yet. His flight's delayed. So we got a little food, got some water, and all of a sudden Taker reaches down under the table and pulls a fifth of Jack out and sets on the table. So I see what I see where we're going with this. So yeah, we all got feeling good there, and just started telling the old war stories.
When was the first time you met him? Because he would have gone from WCW by the time you got there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd come up and we had our match, and we sort of befriended each other then. And he says, yeah, man, we got to work again sometime together. And we never got to work each other, but we did do the Survivor Series when he wore the Phantom
Oh yeah.
of the Opera mask. But he asked me one night, and he was wanting to rib Paul too, so because they were riding together. He goes, Mark, why don't you ride with us? So I got in there and we had a good time. But he said Paul was hot for like the first week because it was always just them two, and now here I am. But we become, I mean, Paul was BSK. We become the best of friends, and uh, that was a hard one. Him and Yoko uh were really hard for me, and Owen. Uh, but yeah, that's how I started riding with them, and then got Yoko, and then Godfather came in, and that's how we formed the BSK. The original members were Taker and Yoko and myself and Godfather and Rikishi and Savio. And then Phineas come up like a few months later, and his initiation was to drink a bottle of Jack. So, and they said, do you speak for him? And I said, yeah. He used to drink wild turkey, so I know he can handle Jack. It'll be like water. And yeah, that was the BSK.
Did you have an initiation? In fact, did anyone apart from Phineas have an initiation?
No. Yeah, it's funny. Nobody had initiation but Tex.
Do you know, I don't know if anyone's, maybe they have, I don't know, but who came up with the BSK name?
Taker and Yoko. And they, the Bone Street crew, and the crew was spelt with a K. And yeah, I still got the toboggan I mean, Yoko was all in on this. We had the toboggans and hats. Now we got the BSK shirts. It's everybody's made different ones. So it's been a cool experience here recently.
Where's your BSK tattoo? Do you have one?
I have two, yeah. I got a whole back piece, but my BSK is at the top, and then I have a little one on my leg over here.
Hmm.
Savio was the first one to get a BSK tattoo.
Really? I was going to say I don't remember
Very
having
first one. And then Taker's is over his stomach. It says BSK Pride. But Savio, yeah, he was the first one, man. He was all in too. He jumped right in that.
Did Yoko or Paul get one secretly?
I can't remember if Yoko got one. I know Paul didn't. But yeah, Tex, he has a couple. He has one on I think his neck says BSK.
Believe in it. Like, so Paul doesn't get the tattoo, and he doesn't have to go through
Rikishi doesn't have the BSK tattoo.
No, got to punish him. Surely you've got to make him have one eventually.
Yeah, we got to do something.
The stories, I think Taker will admit this now, that he liked to hang out in the strip clubs. He's a connoisseur of the strip clubs, and I think the prevailing wisdom was, well, the fans don't bother you in the strip clubs because they're busy looking at the girls.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
That's very true. We've tried the country bars, we tried the rock bars, and the one time in WCW before Taker, I'll just touch on this. We used to go out with Rude, and we had to watch him because it seemed like everybody wanted, drinking that courage. That's the first person they would try to mess with, and that's one damn person you don't want. Rude was tough. He might not have looked it.
No, he looked it.
He was tough.
Yeah.
He was a badass. But yeah, that was our thing. We could go, and we didn't have to worry about, the drunks coming up and wanting to fight or wanting to arm wrestle. That was always a big thing. Oh, let's arm wrestle. Yeah. But yeah, we'd go to strip clubs. We get in a dark corner, and put our backs to the wall and order drinks, and we could sit there and look at the eye candy and talk about the night. talk about matches or just, whatever. But stripping it's a work too, you know?
Mm.
So I guess that's why we sort of got along with them better, because they're working us and we're working them. So, oh yeah, my rent's due. So I'm really trying to, that was the number one
Oh, was
thing.
it?
Yeah.
How often did you fall for it? Or did you just never fall for it? Just too
Never.
wise?
Oh, here, have a drink. I'll buy you a drink.
I've got to ask you this: best strip clubs, or maybe even the best state for strip clubs. Where would you recommend, or at least back in the 90s?
Oh
Where
my
would you recommend?
God. Our place, probably Montreal. After the show, we went to a couple, well, the Gold Club we went to, and the other one I can't remember, but it was across from the hotel, and they had the best damn steaks. I mean, you go in there, and I mean, all the boys went. Even the boys that didn't drink would go there just for the steaks.
Hmm.
Like Owen, man, a Cactus would go there, and people you wouldn't really see in a strip club, and Davy, but they just went there to eat because they always took care of us. And where else can you go get a nice steak when you get back from the arena and it's 11 o'clock? It's hard to go find a place to get a steak, but they always kept the kitchen open and made sure we had steaks.
And it doesn't hurt. Doesn't Canada have all nude as well?
Yeah.
I mean, that can't hurt.
No, that was icing on the cake.
Who comped you? Which places comped you? Or did no strip clubs comp you?
Oh my God, the Gold Club in Montreal, they treated us like kings. I mean, we knew the owners, and matter of fact, I posted some pictures last year of me and Paul Bear and Godfather and his wife with the owners. And yeah, I'm gonna have to send you some pictures sometime.
Yeah.